celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And the whole gang is here. Welcome all. We're all getting around the microphone. Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, getting in place there for her nap, her 2-hour nap.
Hey, this is the only time she sleeps.
Assume the sleeping position.
And, of course, Boog, the studio cat. But most importantly, Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Boy, getting a lot of TV this week on KTLA, and you can see that over at the website at animalradio.com. And I don't know why we're mentioning his appearance. He doesn't mention Animal Radio.
Maybe it's cut out. Maybe that's part of the clip that ends on the floor.
Yeah, we'll have to, he's not even here yet. He has this thing where he has to show up late because, I mean, even if he's running on time, he'll wait to show up late because he feels that's his status. And so he'll be in just a moment to answer your dog behavior questions. Vinnie Penn, animal communicator Vinnie Penn. Animal communicator Vinnie Penn? Joy Turner is the real animal communicator. See, that was a little Freudian slip there.
Yeah.
Vinnie Penn's just like bringing the ha-ha. He's got a new gig, too, over there in Connecticut on WELI, and hopefully we'll be joining them soon.
What a nice plug you just gave him.
I don't know. I'm feeling in a generous mood today, and I'm talking Italian, too. Susan Sims with your Fido-friendly travel talk, and the real Italian, Bobby Hill, working on news. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Is your flu? You're over your flu?
I am getting over, as I like to call it clinically, I believe it's known as the creeping crud.
Uh-huh.
And it's just kicked my little Italian butt for the last 2 weeks, so I'm getting over it now. And thanking all the people who actually went out and got vaccines for the H1N1 virus, because I'm sure that it minimized my symptoms, because I didn't go to it.
Well, we're so glad. I think we have a healthy studio now. I'm pretty much over my sore throat, thanks to the guy who gave me advice a couple of weeks back on acupressure.
Yeah, and I want to tell you,
did it work?
I've got another trip coming up.
No.
Oh, you're heading out of town. You're going to bring some more sickness back. Huh?
I'll cancel.
Yeah. Bobby, what are you working on in the newsroom there?
Well, it's a big story, and you may have heard about it. The animal control officer down in Canton, Mississippi, being fired.
Oh, yeah.
For doing very horrible things. I got to cover it. I got to tell you about it. Details are coming up in the news.
And we're getting a lot of reaction here at the studios about that. Just to give you an idea about the story coming up, we've had more email on this single story than we've ever had in the history of Animal Radio.
It's right up there with Michael Vick.
It is. Speaking of which, Animal Planet joins us today. They have a brand new show that starts Monday night, Animal Planet Investigations, where they investigate dog fighting. Interesting stuff. Let's go to the phones. 1-866-405-8405, Animal Radio.
Hello.
Hello.
Is this Hal?
Yes, it is.
Hal.
Who is this?
This is Bill.
Bill, are you the guy that called me a couple weeks back and gave me that cure for sore throats?
Right, last week, yeah.
Hey, dude, thank you so much. That worked. Everybody, you got to try this out. It's a little acupuncture technique. I'll put it up at the website if you ever get acupressure technique.
Acupressure.
That Bill called it. Unfortunately, my sex life has gone downhill since doing this. It's affected my sex life somehow.
Thanks for the laugh.
You put too much pressure on them thumbs for that, man. But I'm glad it worked for you because it worked for me. And I was just wondering if you thought I was a lunatic or if it actually worked for you.
Well, all of us animal lovers, we're a little bit lunatic, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. And I want to thank you for it. Here's a big sloppy kiss. Thank you so much for your help, Bill.
You're very welcome. Stay safe and stay well.
You too.
It appears Bill is a smoker. Tasted like a smoker there. And we're actually going to be talking about secondhand smoke today and how it can harm your pets. We have an expert coming on from AVMA. That's all on the way right here at Animal Radio. This healthy helping of Animal Radio brought to you by Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy and holistic natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Kind of sounds, I don't sound very genuine there,
No.
Bobby, did I
That's
sound
okay
genuine?
because I believed you, and once again, I have illuminated the blue lava lamp
in the
news studio.
Yeah, I see that over there. Unfortunately, the listeners can't see that. Although we should install a webcam because
don't you think?
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
Well, we wouldn't point it to you, Judy, or me. We'd point it right to the newsroom because there's still a Christmas tree in there.
It's more colorful.
And all blue lights because of our sponsor, Blue Buffalo. And
mood lighting, yeah.
As disingenuous as I sound there, we use Blue for our cats, and we love it. It's a great cat food.
It's healthy food. Yeah, that's most important.
And we're very happy to have them on board.
This is
Animal Radio.
You're listening to Animal Radio.
Welcome to Animal Radio, where dogs rule, cats are king, and the status symbol of choice is that squeaky toy you got for your dog this last holiday season. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to Dr. Debbie, Vlade, Vinny, Joy, Susan, or even Bobby. She's kind of a Twitter gal. She does the social networking thing. You can follow us at Twitter at twitter.com at Animal Radio, twitter.com/Animal Radio.
We have lots of friends and lots of followers, Hal.
How many followers do we have now? Thousands?
We're
millions?
over 100 we're getting close. We're over 130.
We're almost there.
And we pick them up. There we go. We pick them up each and every week after they hear the show. So
one at a time.
There you go. Thanks, my fellow tweets.
Let's see. Big show today. We have on the Animal Planet's going to be on again. Oh, cool. The guys from Animal Planet with investigations about pit bulls. I guess that's a big thing now. I hear it everywhere. I saw it on National Geographic just last week. They're taking Michael Vick's dogs and rehoming many of them successfully, which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
So where's this supposed to read? Oh, here it is. How do you defrost a cat? That's what it says right here. Bobby working on that news story. Apparently a cat, I don't know where this happened, got frozen and then lived to tell the story. Lived to meow the story.
That's unbelievable.
It's a true story. Also, we find out also a true story. Associated Press has done a new poll saying that 15% of us dislike cats a lot, and 2% dislike dogs a lot, making the cat the least popular animal. I don't know. I love the cats. So we have 6 of them here in the studios, and Animal Radio, of course, was started by cats. So,
and I got to say, I'm more of a dog person. I love cats.
But you don't dislike them. I mean, you dislike...
heavens, no.
That's what I'm saying. Of course not.
But everyone veers towards dog or the cat lifestyle, and it's just really what fits with your world.
But it's funny because I did a poll before, and there's more cats in households than there are dogs.
Go figure. Go figure. Usually the proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this whole Happy Act thing, we found out the last caller said, why not get rid of the kids and start bringing in animals and get that tax deduction? That's an idea I like a lot.
I am all for that.
The whole gang is here. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. The only one that escaped the creeping crud that's been traveling around the studios. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Not a week goes by that he hasn't had a phenomenal TV appearance this week on KTLA in Los Angeles, if you'd like to see that. Up at the website at animalradio.com. Vinny Penn starts his new morning show in Connecticut this week and still is on Animal Radio. Go figure. Animal communicator Joy Turner is joining us. She connects that, she bridges that gap between you and your pet. If you're not really communicating with them, or perhaps they left you. They were a childhood animal and you want to communicate with them, she can do that. Hey, it's making the phones ring like crazy. That's all I can say.
Gotta believe.
I gotta believe.
Gotta believe.
Susan Sims with Phyto-Friendly Travel Talk. She has more giveaway soy candles today. And Bobby, the aforementioned Bobby, working on news in her little news booth over there. And this portion of Animal Radio brought to you by Stella and Chewy's. I just love the name. Stella and Chewy's. Natural goodness for dogs made with raw USDA-inspected meat. Raised naturally with no added hormones or antibiotics. It is the official food of Animal Radio, and we get so many samples here. We can pick the one that the dog loves. When we did, we picked the best. And sometimes we'll try a food, and she'll like it for a couple of days, and then she's a ladybug's kind of a finicky gal.
Oh, she gets the best of everything. I gotta say,
she keeps coming back to the Stella and Chewy's, and it's great if you're a trucker. If you travel a lot, it's light, it's freeze dried, it's easy to manipulate. All you have to do is add a little bit of water. To it. And it's even good dry, and the cats really love it, too. Stella and Chewy's, they're coming out with a brand new cat food coming up in just a few weeks. We'll have more information on that, but you can learn all about it at stellaandchewy's.com, or you can call 888-477-8977. And, I believe you can even purchase it from the animalradio.com website. Stella and Chewy's. Dr. Debbie, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I was telling you about that dog with the liver problem the other day.
Oh, hepatitis? What was it?
Well, actually, believe it or not, we may have talked about this around the holidays. A xylitol poisoning.
Oh, yes, which is it's like a sugar additive.
Yes, this dog, a 2-year-old Cocker Spaniel, got into half a pack of one of those sugar-free gums like Orbits. And sent it into sudden liver failure.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. But he's pulling through. He's amazing. He's doing a wonderful job. So I just want to let you know that I was working on him the other day when we were chatting and coming along. But that's something a lot of people don't know about. The sugar-free gums, candies, baked goods even have this component called xylitol with an X.
And is that the only sweetener that really affects the dogs? I mean, I know there's
pretty much,
all kinds of, like Sweet and Low and stuff like that. That doesn't, you shouldn't be feeding your animals this, but if they get into it, they have a better chance than if they get into xylitol.
Right. Xylitol has a particular problem where it drops their blood sugar and it can cause liver failure. So, So you want to make sure you check that. If you like sugar-free gum and you're chewing it for your own health, make sure you don't leave it around for your pet to get into.
Did you know going in that that's what this dog had eaten?
No, it took us 2 days of kind of questioning and looking into things, and we were doing all these tests, and then finally the information came out that, I did, the dogs chewed on this gum a few days ago, and we saw the pack, and, the ingredient was right on there. So, fortunately, a lot of dogs don't survive that, get into that product, so it's very important people know about that.
And they'll eat anything. Unlike cats, they're really finicky. Dogs, let me have some of that. And then they're begging for everything for the dinner table.
And they eat it before they even know what it is.
I know that Ladybug does that.
Yeah.
You could feed her all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, she thinks give something to the cat, she'll just come up and eat it no matter what it is.
And of course,
that's how I get pills down my dogs. I drop them on the floor like they're not supposed to get them, and then they eat them.
That's a clever. It's all in the psychology, reverse psychology there. Simple things like grapes and raisins could be toxic to your dog, and you may be sharing them from the table and thinking, you're sharing your meal, you're bonding and everything, but that can actually throw them into some kind of I don't know. You're the doctor.
Grapes and raisins cause kidney damage. Macadamia nuts can cause neurologic problems.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of these kind of things out there that, it's always good to kind of ask your veterinarian, find out if any of your favorite treats that you might be sharing with your pets could be a danger.
And we have a nice old list over at animalradio.com of some pretty common foods that you wouldn't suspect are toxic, and they are toxic. Let's hit the phones. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Vlade with your dog behavior. Vinny, just ha-ha, enjoy. We're all here. 1-866-405-8405.
You're listening to Animal Radio. You can learn more at animalradio.com. Log on. Learn more.
Hi, this is Joy Behar on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pets.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too. A Sacramento couple said they were shocked and confused when their dog received a bill from Verizon online. Steve Finelli and Sean Donovan said their Lousteau Opso named Andy Finelli received a notice in the mail from a collections agency about a bill totaling $142.34. Verizon said the bill was meant for a man named Andy Finelli who lives on the other side of the country. Owner Donovan said, just because there's an Andy Finelli back east doesn't mean you send a letter to Andy Finelli in California. There has to be something else to connect it. AFNI Collections Agency said the confusion may have resulted from the fact that Andy Finelli, the dog, has his own American Express card, which Donovan obtained when it was offered to family members. Donovan said she often takes her girlfriends out to lunch on Andy, the dog. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio. Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Let's face it, life happens. From spills to pet stains, One Shot Plus Multi-Purpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, eliminating the need for other cleaning products. Pet stains, crayon marks, mildew, One Shot, and it's gone. Safe for the environment, your pets, and your family. Call 1-800-874-7070 and mention Animal Radio. That's 1-800-874-7070. Or go to OneShotPlus.com to get yours now.
We get lots of food samples here at Animal Radio, so we can be picky about selecting a healthy food. If you're a regular listener, you know Ladybug is one finicky diva. When we got a sample of Stella and Chewy's, the healthy ingredients were there, but would she eat it? I'm here to tell you she ate it as fast as we put it down and begged for more. We feel good about feeding our dog Stella and Chewy's, and we want you to try Stella and Chewy's too. Visit StellaandChewy's.com or call 888-477-8977. That's 888-477-8977.
Listen closely. Did you hear that? That's the sound of peace of mind. Peace of mind that comes in convenient, pre-measured packets of Safeguard K9 Dewormer. Just sprinkle the granules on your dog's food twice a year to protect him against the major types of canine intestinal worms. Monthly heartworm prevention programs alone are not enough. Find out how to get the upper hand on intestinal worm infections by visiting www.safeguardfordogs.com.
Does your pet become anxious when you leave the house? Do certain sounds like thunder or sirens cause your pet to feel uneasy? If your pet barks excessively or is an out-of-control chewer, you'll find the solution in Classic Cuts by Music My Pet. The principal performer for Disney's Baby Einstein has created Classic Cuts with special sounds to help calm, soothe, and relax your pet. A calm pet is a happy pet. To order your Classic Cuts, visit www.musicmypet.com or call 1-877-PET-CALM.
Hi, this is Anne-Marie Lucas from Animal Precinct and the ASPCA, and when I'm not out busting bad guys for abusing animals, I am home listening to Animal Radio.
It's Animal Radio, you lucky dog. All of us here, Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Bobby working on the Twittering. She's Twittering like no, she's got news going on. She Twitters. She's like, where's the beeper? She's in her little news booth with her Christmas tree, her blue lights. Her headphones aren't off, so I could pretty much practically say anything I want about her right now. Mm-hmm. Susan Sims, she's answering travel questions, and she has giveaways today. Soy candles, I believe. Animal communicator Joy Turner, Vinny Penn, bringing the ha. And Lottie, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Judy Francis, of course, screening your calls. She's the first voice you get when you call here at 1-866-405-8405. Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, and Boog, the studio stunt cat. Slater in the newsroom with Bobby. Mika sitting next to Vlade right now. These are our animals. Hopefully you have your animals up against the speakers for this weekly celebration of our pets. Brought to you by Stella and Chewy's. Natural goodness for your dogs. Great stuff. This is dog food we use here at Animal Radio. Before they ever were a sponsor. Little patties. These are freeze-dried patties. It's raw, USDA-inspected meat, raised naturally with no added hormones or antibiotics. Good stuff. Add a little water to it.
And you don't even have to add the water. You can feed it to them like that. But I like the water because it gives them a little extra, hydration throughout their day.
The cats love it too. Yes,
and I would like to add that recipe people to the perfect dog always based on 3 key components. Number 1 is nutrition, which is of course genetics and behavior, but nutrition is everything. Whatever you put in your dog's body, that's how his mind is going to work. That is why here at Animal Radio we are so adamant about feeding our pets with the good food, and we highly suggest you to follow this path.
Stella and Chewy's. Visit the website StellaandChewy's.com or go to call 1-888-477-8977. I understand we have a link right from the front of AnimalRadio.com, and you can actually purchase it there. Very, very good. At a very good price. Yes. I like this stuff.
It is. And I love them. And I met the owner personally. I was doing the shows in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I met the lady, the owner
Marie
of the company.
Moody. She moved her factories right there into Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's an amazing state. I love the people. As a matter of fact, Milwaukee loved me. I think a lot of Europeans lives there, so I guess they understand more my accent.
How could you not love Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard?
Exactly. But,
Also coming up in the show today, from Animal Planet, brand new show starting Monday night, Animal Planet Investigations. We'll have Sergeant Michael Gabrielson. He's talking about the dog fighting and how to bust those that are dog fighting. Let's hit the phones right now. Vladdy's answering your most vexing dog behavior questions. We have Diane joining us. Hi, Diane. How are you?
Hi.
Where are you today?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, so beautiful there. Well, here's
Freezing
Lottie.
today.
Is it cold? I understand that whole part of the country is just really cold. In Florida, the iguanas are hibernating. They're freezing and falling
off the trees.
Falling off the trees.
It's
very
raining
strange.
iguanas in Florida.
That's so very weird. Well, we'll send you some warmth from California.
Okay.
Vladi's here. He can help you with your dog problems.
Okay.
Hi, Diane. How are you? Thank you for calling.
Fine.
Mm-hmm. So
Thank
go
you.
ahead. What the problem you have?
I have a miniature Australian Shepherd. He just turned a year old. I got him at 5 months. He actually was supposed to be a toy, but he ended up being a mini, and that's why the people who had him gave him up. But I'm having some issues with him. First of all, he's unbelievably smart, and he arranges his toys in patterns.
Smart dogs and stupid people. That's always problem.
Right.
Don't take it personally. Go ahead.
He arranges his toys, and he'll make a circle or lines or a triangle.
Arranges his toys. I got it.
Like puts them in order.
Yeah.
I've seen this before on TV.
Okay.
And he's been in dog training, but if a dog starts barking at him, he becomes a nut, and he starts barking his head off, and it sounds like they're having a big dog fight, and nothing's really happening.
Did your dog bark on another dog when he's on the leash? Am I right?
Yes.
In your neighborhood, much worse than, let's say, somewhere in the dog park or somewhere else? If your dog is playing with another dog?
In a pet store, a dog that barked at him and lunged at him, he went nuts.
I got it. It's like two neighbors, one swearing on another swearing back. It's understandable. But tell me, please, do you believe if you would let your dog go, or if you had a chance to see your dog's behavior off-leash, did your dog play with another dog even once, 2 times in his life? Did you see that? Were you witness?
Well, I have another dog, and they do play.
I know. I'm not talking another dog. I understand. This is the dog who he used to. But let's say... Did your dog meet another dog's off-leash, let's say in the dog park or in the daycare somewhere?
No, he hasn't, no.
Okay. How old is your dog?
1 year old.
1 year old. Do you believe your dog is going to bite another dog?
No.
Okay, no. Okay, that's what I believe too. Let's start with your dog breed traits. I love that breed, as a matter of fact. And I do believe you have a good prognosis here. Let's talk about my diagnosis, which is hard to do over the phone, but I will try to do it like through the psychic hotline or something like that. So I do believe you have leash aggression, which is easy to fix, but leash aggression based how you got into this problem through the frustration. It calls freedom frustration scientifically. Freedom frustration. It means once you walk with your dog on the leash and he pulls you all over and he's seen other dogs and another dog barks, whatever another dog does, he wants to see, he wants to approach, he wants to investigate, he cannot. It's create frustration. Frustration creates drive. Drive turns into the so-called freedom frustration or leash aggression. Now, my prognosis to resolve this problem is almost like 100%. It should not be the problem to fix that dog. If you like my prognosis and you agree with my diagnosis, we should agree with the treatment plan. Treatment plan would be number one, you have to go back to the doggy mother, which is structures rules. It means never give your dogs any commands you cannot enforce. Always reinforce your commands in your home environment. Never repeat yourself. For instance, if you say come, make sure he comes to you all the time you call. If you tell him stop to do certain things, he must stop immediately. He's not supposed to sleep with you in your bed. He's not supposed to jump on the furniture while you are through the treatment plan. He is not supposed to approach to you while you're holding any food on your table. A leader dog would never allow that to another dog approach. And this is little things will really set up the rapport which you need to overcome this type of the behavior. And the next step would be dealing with situation. You need to like him, at least tolerate what he hates. So you cannot control another dogs, you can control your dog. So the principle is very simple. Make your dog worry about you or focus on you so he could not be focused on another dog at the same time. In other words, as you pass another dog, before even your dog start to yap, you should correct him and redirect his attention on you. Once you redirect his attention on you, you momentarily need to praise him. Dogs learn by the consequences of his behavior and response to his behavior. So your response needs to be negative in conjunction with his behavior and positive when he shuts up. When you pass, if your correction will be strong enough and good enough and right enough, he will not be barking on the second dog, or at least less barking. As you're passing second dog, this time you could give him just positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement teach your dog what you want him to do. Correction teach him what you don't want him to do. It works synergistically, like yes and no and da and net in Russian alphabet, which word net or no, Vladimir Putin knows really well. But the thing is, you gotta get someone who would show you, because dealing with a dog who exhibiting some aggressive problems like learning how to drive the car, education is important, but how to, you can learn how to drive the car just by reading the books. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Send me an email, please, and I will send you a link to the trainer in your state, which I know, and she's great, and she will help you out. I ask her to give you some discount for her service, and she will help you out to deal with the situation, because I do believe you need to have someone behind you and next to you. As alternative, I suggest you to check the product by name Pet Convincer. While your dog is barking on another dog, aim to your dog, push the button, the air comes out together with sound effect, and it's going to be like that's going to be redirect your attention.
He uses this on me all the time, by the way. If I ever do anything bad, he'll take his Pet Convincer out and he'll just like that.
That's really would work as alternative.
Diane, thank you so much for your call today. Remember, everything we talk about is at the website at animalradio.com. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the Dream Team. Could be Dr. Debbie, Vlade, Vinny, Joy, Susan, Bobby, or even Ladybug, the studio stunt pup.
Vinny Penn, you're a party animal? Yeah, I'm still with you. Can't get rid of me that easily. Actually, probably going to be a little bit dated here. A couple of tales from over the holidays to catch up on. One of them being, of course, hit my local Petco to buy our fish Betty her Christmas present. I mean, why would you not have to pick her up a little something special? She is part of the family. But at Petco, grabbing Betty just a little something for the aquarium, a little accoutrement. A little new little palm tree for her little bowl. And I noticed up at the counter, I mean, Petco's obviously your go-to place, but I noticed up at the counter that they were selling dog and cat mints. They were in like little tins, like Altoid tins. And there was nothing farcical about it, nothing tongue-in-cheek about it. It was dog and cat mints. Now, maybe if it had a funny name like, Kiss Me Ow, maybe something like that. Oh, it's a little bit clever, but it wasn't. It just was in a tin, and it's a dog and cat mint. Now, I've said here before, I'm really not into those owners that basically make out with their pets. They think it means something to us when their cat leaps up onto the table. That alone, I don't think is acceptable. But when they proceed to basically French kiss the cat, I mean, I'm disturbed by that as it is. These mints are only going to encourage it more. Do they need good breath? I don't understand. What would we do without the saying, oh, that guy, he's got dog breath, man? We can't eradicate that. They're supposed to have bad breath. These are four-legged creatures that are supposed to have bad breath. So needless to say, I apologize to all of you out there who bought dog or cat mints for your pet, which leads us to be continued on Party Animal. Animal Radio, Vinny Penn.
This is
Animal Radio.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. The chief of police of Canton, Mississippi, fired an animal control officer who was accused of killing numerous dogs and cats. Alonzo Esco was fired earlier this month after he allegedly euthanized dogs and cats. As Chief Vicki McNeil described, quote, by a process not consistent with animal control laws, end quote. An investigation was launched after Esco was accused of shooting and killing several cats and dogs. That investigation, conducted by the Canton Police Department, resulted in Esco being charged with shooting at least 100 dogs. Unfortunately, in the state of Mississippi, that crime is not a felony, and the case may end up in a lower court. Once again, if you're living in Mississippi, write to your lawmakers. Do it now. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has traced a 31-state salmonella outbreak to pet frogs. CDC said 85 people in several states became sick, and 2/3 of them had some kind of contact with pet frogs. One frog, identified as the aquatic African dwarf, which was won at a carnival in Utah, was traced back to the California breeder. CDC officials say the bacteria is spread by contact with water in the frog's tank, not necessarily handling the frogs themselves. Once again, pet owners are cautioned to wash hands thoroughly after handling your pet frog, turtle, or lizard. And the Associated Press has done it, conducted what can only be described as the definitive which is better, dogs or cats poll. After surveying nearly 2,000 adults, the AP PetSide.com poll showed humans prefer dogs, quote, a lot, end quote. The key words in the question posed. Results showed 70% liked dogs a lot, leaving just 41% to like cats a lot. The poll also found out which is liked least. 15% of those responding said they disliked cats a lot, with only 2% disliking dogs a lot. I'm sensing a trend there. I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Your home can be full of hazards. Here's a tip to minimize dangers. Keep antifreeze out of reach. It has a sweet aroma and taste but can be fatal. Also, be careful when using baited pesticides. These products are scented to attract pests but can also lure our pets. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Talking to kitties?
Just, we're doing the baby talk to the kitties, and they hate that. They really hate that when you talk baby talk to them. They want to be talked to like a normal person, pretty much. Dogs, not so much. They love it when you gush over them. And, of course, Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, being gushed over right now is Judy screens calls. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard with your dog behavior issues. Vinnie Penn bringing the ha. Joey Turner, she's our animal communicator around here, and you get into that, well, call us. Susan Sims, she has giveaways today, and Bobby working on news. News about that it was an animal control officer fired for killing numerous dogs and cats. This news story, we're getting a lot of tweets right now about this. A lot of people embarrassed to be from Mississippi.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's true, but I heard someone say that he was a fireman or fire chief or something, and he was fired from that job and got the animal control.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyone working with animals who is accused of that and proven to be guilty of that is just it's unbelievable. So you can imagine all of our listeners are in a uproar on that one.
Well, this is probably the first news story here to make so much controversy and get so much reaction at the website at animalradio.com over the 10 years of Animal Radio. Also on the docket today, the Happy Act. This is that $3,500 tax deduction for having an animal. I can't see why people wouldn't want that, but we've had several listeners that say we don't want the government getting their nose in with our pets now. And we'd love to hear your opinions. I, for one, would like the tax deduction because it can be very expensive having a cat or a dog, especially if you visit the veterinarian or
just feeding them.
I
don't know, that itemization though, that could be a nightmare.
It could be. I'm more for the flat rate, the like they do for the children, the children tax deduction for having a child. Also on the show today, from Animal Planet Investigates starts Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Brand new program about investigations with Sergeant Michael Gabrielson looking into dog fighting. That's all on the way. Let's hit the phones. Are we going to line 2? Have we even taken one call today from line 2? Such a neglected phone line. It really is. And who is on that? Is it Jonathan? Hey, Jonathan.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Fantastic, thanks.
Where are you?
Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina, checking in with us. I have Dr. Debbie here to answer your vet medical questions.
Oh, great. Well, Dr. Debbie, the question is, we have a 185-pound Great Dane.
Holy moly. That's a lot of dog.
He's not really fat. You can still see his ribs and all. The question is, since the onset of the cold, and we don't get a lot of it down here in Columbia, or at least normally not this bad.
Yeah, it's been pretty cold, more than usual.
Very, very much so. He's really shown a lot of discomfort in his right hip, and we're concerned if it's maybe the onset of hip dysplasia or maybe if it could be arthritis or something.
Okay. What is he doing exactly? Can you describe for me?
Well, it's just when he first gets up from taking a nap or sleeping, he's a little sore, but once he gets moving around, it loosens up pretty good, and he's out being his normal self, running around, acting like a huge puppy.
They're such the Marmaduke dogs.
Yeah.
And is he actually limping on the leg where he's picking up and favoring his weight bearing on that?
He doesn't really so much pick it up off the ground when he first gets up. He just kind of, he looks like it's a little tender. Like
okay, he looks yimpy on it. All right. Well, very good. Well, certainly, and you mentioned he was, 6 years of age? Is that accurate?
Yeah, he's 5 on 6.
Okay. So, it's certainly possible what you're describing, that slowness getting up, it almost looks kind of like someone just putting a little extra push to get up. That certainly can be a sign of basic osteoarthritis or joint pain. So, it gets a little tricky if we can try to make a decision if this is just a hip problem or an osteoarthritis problem, because there could be a lot of overlap with that. Hip dysplasia is basically the physical conformation problem in the hips, where the hip socket doesn't fit real nice. With time, hip dysplasia will lead to osteoarthritis, a lot of the advanced changes. But you can still get an arthritic joint unrelated to a hip dysplasia. So you can get an elbow and knee that's arthritic, or even ankles, believe it or not. So if you're starting to see those signs, then I would certainly investigate that and see, maybe have your veterinarian take a feel and a look, because in older breed large dogs, we always keep on an eye out for the bad stuff like, bone cancers and much more serious things. So we'd want to make sure we get an accurate diagnosis. But if they do feel this is arthritis, then I would say, we may very well need to get your baby on some basic supportive care for arthritic help. And there's a lot of things out there. So there's a lot of good stuff you can try. Something as simple as joint remedies, glucosamine products that can not only help people, but help pets. And I'm a firm believer in glucosamine. I take it myself. But that's a basic place.
Joint glucosamine kind of mix thing for a couple of weeks now, and I guess it takes a few months for you to be able to really see if there's any help from that.
You're so right. Yes, it's not a quick fix, but it can, with time, it builds up in the system, and it can make the pet more comfortable.
I noticed there's some out there, some of these things that advertise themselves as chondroitin and glucosamine mixes that have such a small amount that they'll never have any effect ever. Is there the kind that you're feeding your dogs or that you take? Is it something that you get at the vet's office? Is it a prescription? What is it?
It's an over-the-counter from one of the big box pet stores.
Okay. And what are you using, Doctor?
Well, basically, we have prescription-grade glucosamine, and there's nothing to say that you can't use a human product, but I always advise kind of the buyer beware. If you're looking for the cheapest glucosamine, sometimes that means it may be unpurified. It can come from foreign countries like China, and we want to make sure we've got the proper dosage. So usually the veterinary or the animal products, they'll give you those guidelines on how much. So that's definitely very important. And glucosamine can be a wonderful thing. Now, there's a lot of hype nowadays where pet food companies are adding glucosamine into food, and I get this question all the time where people will say, can I just give it in the food and use this product and avoid giving the supplement? And the answer is no, because there's no standard way that they can make a dog food and ensure every dog is going to get the proper dosage of that. So it's a minuscule amount, kind of what you were just getting to Hal. And that would be important, that you still supplement an actual glucosamine if you're doing a food with glucosamine. I think it's waste of money myself to have it in the food, but that's just me. But beyond that, Jonathan, I would say you might want to add in a non-steroidal pain remedy. We find there's a lot of good ones out there on the market now. Some as simple as giving a chewable tablet once a day, and that we add in on top of the glucosamine. So if you're not getting enough relief, that would be my next step with that. And then I also have a great success with a product called Adequan, and it's in an injectable form, and for a Great Dane it might be pretty pricey, but it can be wonderful. It's basically an injection that helps with the building blocks inside the joint. A little bit different than glucosamine, but for a lot of dogs we start off a couple times a week with the shot, and we can get down to maybe once a month or every couple months. And one of my own staff does that for her Rottweiler, and it just makes a night and day difference in this dog that does have hip dysplasia and her getting around on a regular basis. So a lot of good stuff we can try, definitely. But I'd say if your old guy is kind of doing that effort pushing up, then, he's telling us in a nonverbal way that there's some aching in those joints we want to look at there.
185 pounds. Wow, that's a lot of food, I bet. How much food do you feed your dog a day?
Well, he's one of 4 big boys. We've also got a St. Bernard that's about 150, and a Yogi that's 150, and a Akita just over 100.
Wow. And I bet not only feeding them, cleaning up after them is not a pretty sight either.
All right, well,
thank you for your call today. Give all them a big old hug from all of us. Boy, I'll tell you, if one of them gave me a hug, that would knock me right on over there. That's pretty 185 pounds. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the Dream Team right now.
This portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by Safeguard Canine Dewormer. Did you know that your dog could have intestinal worms, even if he's on a heartworm prevention program? For more complete protection, deworm your dog twice a year with broad-spectrum Safeguard Canine Dewormer. To find out more, visit www.safeguardfordogs.com.
It's another new year, and your debt is higher than ever. Credit card balances that keep growing. Rising medical bills. Maybe you lost your job, or you're afraid of losing your home. That's the bad news. But you can work through your debt problems with help from Credit Card Relief. No, we're not a consolidation loan. Not another one of those credit counseling deals, and not bankruptcy. We're Credit Card Relief. We've been helping people just like you for nearly a decade. If you're struggling with too much credit card debt, call us for a free consultation. Call Credit Card Relief right now. The consultation is free and the relief is real.
Call 866-800-5252. That's Credit Card Relief. 866-800-5252. 866-800-5252.
Do you want a wireless laptop but your credit score is holding you back? We can help. Guaranteed. If you have a bank account and can afford weekly payments of just $29.99 for 12 months, we'll send you a brand new wireless laptop no matter what your credit looks like. Call Tronics Country now. You're approved for a brand new Dell or HP laptop. Call now and we'll also include a free MP3 player and free LCD TV with your paid order. Call 800-769-4157. Still not sure? Then hear what our customers say.
I'm really enjoying my laptop.
I just wanted to call to say how happy I am with it.
And I'm very pleased with their service. So I would suggest to anyone that is looking for computers or trying to find computers, Tronics is the best place to call.
Call now and lock in your free gifts. You will not be turned down. Call 800-769-4157. 800-769-4157. That's 800-769-4157.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Celebrating our connection with our pets, it's Animal Radio. Welcome. 1-866-405-8405. Those phones ringing off the hook. We were talking about the Happy Act these last few weeks. This is not what it sounds like. It's
I don't know. It'll make me happy if it passes.
It's a proposition for a $3,500 tax deduction, and our phones are ringing off the hook. Surprisingly enough,
I'm voting for it.
Yeah, well, about 50-50 on the phones right now. And Judy, if you get another person that is against it, will you put them on hold?
Okay.
And I will not beat them up like a piñata. You can tell them. I know they're frightened about that.
Yes, they are. Well, they should be frightened of you.
But many are going for it.
How can you not want a tax break?
Yeah, really.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm
saying. I don't
saying.
understand the logic of that in this present economy. There's my own opinion. Does not necessarily reflect those of the owners and management of Animal Radio.
Actually, it does.
Thank you. Thank you.
What are you working on the news?
Thanks
Miss Bobby Hill, by the way.
Thank you. We're going to take a look. The final answer of which is better cats or dogs.
Oh boy, that might get the phones ringing too.
You think?
Yeah, it could happen. Dr. Debbie is here. She's answering your vet medical questions. Vladi, the world famous Russian dog wizard. Vinny Penn, animal communicator Joy Turner. Susan Sims with Fido Friendly Travel Talk. The thing I like about her is every time she comes on the air, she has giveaways.
Woo, we love those giveaways.
Last week we gave away a $100 bottle of
fragrance
for your dog. I know.
I don't even spend that much on me.
You sound like Craig Ferguson there.
I know.
Also, Britt Savage on the way. 1-866-405-8405. Hi.
Hello there.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good.
How can I help you today?
Well, are you the one who was talking about letting pets be a tax deduction?
Yeah, I was talking about the Happy Act that's in legislation right now. $3,500, up to $3,500 deduction for the qualified expenses for your animal.
Dumb idea.
Why is that?
Well, anytime you continue to let the government in, I mean, all you're going to do is open the door. You're going to be able to get these tax deductions. Then it's going to be a qualified thing where who knows where it's going to take off to. It's like opening up a dark closet. You don't necessarily know what's in it, and that's what you're heading for by letting pets in. They should just be pets. You know, I mean, the whole idea of to me, it just seems, it just grates against common sense to elevate them to such levels of, you know, surgery, psychology, everything else. It's a dog.
Do you have a pet? Do you have a pet?
No, I don't have one now. I've had dogs, I've had cats, I've had snakes, I've had all sorts of different things, but I don't have anything at this point, no.
Don't you think that if people are allowed to take a tax deduction on their pet, that they might adopt a pet and there'll be less pets in the shelters, more pets that have homes instead of homeless?
Well, I think that if you're not spaying or neutering, then I have no problem with euthanasia. In other words, if there's too many, it's like too many crops in the field, too many people on the planet, too many pets on the street. There they go.
Now, did I beat you like a piñata, like you said when you first called?
No, you haven't. But I will tell you this. Look forward to gaining 30 pounds now that you've given up smoking.
I only wish. Well, thank you for your call today. I appreciate it. 1-866-405-8405. I do wish I could gain 30 pounds.
You could use it. This is
Animal Radio.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Okay, let me just say I can't believe how many of you are against the Happy Act.
What's that about?
About 50-50 on the phones line right now. 1-866-405-8405. Of course, this is the up to $3,500 tax deduction for having a pet in your family.
It's a win situation for me.
Really, I guess the people that we've heard from say they don't have pets or don't consider pets to be a part of their family as much. It does seem that they're a little more disconnected. But we'd love to hear your views. And, of course, we're very transparent here at Animal Radio. We like to share everyone's views. I may not like it. I may make fun of you. But we want everyone to be heard, and that's important.
Yeah, but he won't punch you like a piñata.
Yeah, that's a thing that a few of the people have been saying. Don't pick on me. Don't punch me. I'm not going to do that. I want to hear what everyone has to say. Bobby reported last hour that a brand new Associated Press poll said that cats are the least preferred animals over dogs.
What?
Interesting. They had so much controversy over this particular poll that they actually, AP had to divulge the way they conducted the poll in a completely separate news story. We'd like to hear what you think here at Animal Radio. We posted the poll over at the website. And, of course, the story getting all the news this week, a lot of comments at yourvoiceanimalradio.com, is the story about the Mississippi animal control officer fired for the animal deaths. So a lot of stuff happening over at the website. Also, your ability to pick up Stella and Chewy's dog food. Brand new sponsor for Animal Radio. Coming up Monday night on Animal Planet, my favorite channel. A brand new show called Animal Planet is it called?
Investigation.
Investigations? It says investigates here. Investigates. Let's find out what it is. We have Sergeant Michael Gabrielson on the phone. Hi, Sergeant. How are you doing?
Very good. Yourself?
Very good. It's called Animal Planet Investigates, right?
Correct.
Okay, it starts Monday night, 10 p.m. A lot of programs I just saw last week, we were rehabilitating the Michael Vick dogs.
Right.
What will we see in this program?
Well, actually, it's never-before-seen undercover camera. Myself and my partner were able to have undercover video with us, so we were able to release some of that after all of the defendants went to trial.
A lot of people think the Michael Vick situation was very isolated. There's a lot of dogfighting going on, isn't there?
Absolutely. It's rampant. When I first got into this, I was shocked at it's everywhere. It's in every city throughout the United States.
Are there some cities that are more, I don't want to say predisposed, but it's going on more than other cities?
There definitely are. There are hotbeds across the United States. Detroit is an area, Pittsburgh. In our area, Southwest Ohio, we were surprised to find that in Southwest Ohio how prevalent it was.
This is kind of interesting, Detroit, that you say that, because we learned last week that Michigan is one of the best states for animal protection laws, strangely enough. Do you find that the people that are being prosecuted, are they going to jail, or are they getting out in the next 5 days? You see them back on the streets doing the same thing. What happens once they get prosecuted and you get a case against them?
Well, there's a variety. It runs everything from probation through to a number of years in prison. A lot of specific to dog fighting, animal fighting, there are other crimes that go along with this. So they may not receive a stiff sentence for the actual animal fighting, but the drug charges, the weapon charges, I know in our case the longest sentence that we received was 13 and a half years in prison.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, okay. So I guess when you're putting a case together, you're not only looking for the evidence to the dog fighting, but you're trying to find some things that'll really keep them behind bars.
Absolutely. You know, dog fighting, animal fighting by itself is horrendous, and that should be enough to put them in prison, but it's not. So the other crimes that go with it, they're hand in hand. In my experience, about 90% of the people that were involved in animal fighting were also involved in other illegal activity.
What is your background? Do you have special training for dog fighting?
Prior to starting this case, I didn't. We were did a lot of on-the-job training. Our investigation was actually prior to the Michael Vick case.
Oh.
So since that, there's a lot of the Humane Society of the United States does have an excellent program where they're training law enforcement officials across the United States to recognize dog fighting and how to conduct investigations.
If you're listening to Animal Radio right now, you probably can't understand the kind of person that would fight dogs to the death. What are they? Are they mostly younger people, or are they of all ages? And what is, we know, as you just said, they're involved with other crimes. Is there a certain demographic that we're mostly focusing?
You know, it's not. The animal fighting, dog fighting specifically, is what I've been involved with. It's a crime just like anything else, and there's the motivation behind it, and the motivation behind it is the money. So, they're involved in the money. I ran into people that were professionals. I ran into people that were blue-collar workers. And I did run into people that were, your criminals that you would see, that one would think of when they think of, the dark alleys and things like that. So it really is a crime that crosses all socioeconomic boundaries. All races are involved in it. It's not specific to any one area. It crosses all boundaries, and the primary motivation is the money.
We've found out in the past that people that abuse animals oftentimes abuse people. Is that the situation here, too? Do you find that some of these might be involved in as much as murder?
Very common crimes of violence. There have been a number of investigations, one recently in Texas, where one of the targets that they had involved was wanted for a homicide. I do know a subject that was wanted in our case was killed while he was being sought by police. He was involved in an act of violence, and he himself was murdered. So, yeah, absolutely, crimes of violence, all crimes, in fact, go hand in hand with animal fighting and dog fighting.
Are you afraid for your life? Do you go undercover? Do you cover your face in this movie? Or are you worried about having your face out there exposed doing this type of work?
No, I'm out. I put that portion of my life behind me. I've been promoted since then. I'm now an administrator, so that life is behind me. I worked undercover for approximately 9 years. This was about the last 14 months I was undercover in this organized ring of dog fighters in Southwest Ohio.
Okay, well, check it out. It's the brutal world of dog fighting, uncovered in a premiere on Animal Planet Investigates. It is Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. All the details over at the website at animalradio.com. Sergeant Michael Gabrielson, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for what you do. It's a tough job.
I appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
If you live in New York, Illinois, Michigan, Oregon, or California, you have something in common. You are one of the most pet-friendly states in the country. More details on that with Bobby Hill. She's working on news. Dr. Debbie answering your vet medical questions. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, joining us with your most vexing dog issues. He can fix them. Vinny Penn and bringing the ha-ha. Animal communicator Joy Turner and Britt Savage. All the studio animals are here today.
This is Animal Radio
Network.
This is
Animal Radio.
Oh, it's one big happy family. Not just here in the studio, but you too. Listen, we're animal lovers. We do anything for animals. They're part of our family, and we'd even throw ourselves in front of a car to save them, wouldn't you, Judy?
Nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt, thankfully. Especially Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, who's just learned a lesson about crossing the street and looking both ways. And she's smart enough to do that. She really is the most amazing smart dog. You have to spell around her. If you're going on a walk, you have to say W-A-L-K. And I think she can even figure that one out.
And then they figure out that. That's when it becomes super intelligence. Yes.
It's scary, really, really scary. I'm convinced they're smarter than humans. They're so smart that they don't let on that they're smarter than humans, is what they do.
Yeah, and what about this one big happy family? I don't know, that Vlade gets a little pushy in the old studio here sometimes.
He does. I think it's the drinking as well. And he admits it. He loves his vodka. And I want you to notice that you and Vlade are the only ones that did not get the crud that's been going around the studio. Judy brought it. I got it. Bobby got it. But Vlade, well, his vodka probably killed it. And last week you wore a mask over your mouth. So,
and if we have to pickle our blood like him, then hey, we'll all be at it.
Okay, let's go to line 4. We have Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Yep. Hello?
It's Dave.
Is it Dave?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I must have picked up the wrong line. Hey, Dave, how are you doing? This guy has a lot of hang-ups. Let me just say that right now. Do you want to call back, or do you...
Yeah, let's call.
What, you want me to stall? You're going to call him back? Oh, read this? Oh, good timing. This healthy helping of Animal Radio brought to you by Blue Buffalo, makers of healthy, holistic, natural food for dogs and cats. You love them like family, so feed them like family with Blue. Did we get Dave back? We got Dave. Hey, Dave.
Yeah, if I don't lose you again out here in the desert.
Oh, no. Okay, so how can we help you? I got Dr. Debbie. She's right here.
What do you got going on there?
Well, we sold our home and we're going to move, and I was worrying about taking this 6-year-old cat with us that I got. I don't know about trying to... He's an outside cat, most of the time anyway.
So he's your cat?
Yeah, he is now. He was a stray, but he is now, I guess.
Yeah, he claimed you then, huh?
Yeah, I take care of him and I like do this and do that. He's a good sized cat. He weighs like 15 pounds plus.
You're going to be moving, and you're asking me if you should take him. My answer's going to be, heck yeah! You can't leave him behind.
Especially you made friends with him after 6 years.
Oh yeah,
no, you gotta.
He's adopted you, man. You gotta take him. Are you moving far, or is there some concern that he won't make the trip?
Probably 5-10 miles. We just sold our home. We'll probably, I don't know, either find one who picks up or build another one or something. But it's like, now I got this cat. What am I going to do with him?
You're only moving 5 miles away. Will it try to go back to the old home, or do you think it'll adapt to the new area there?
They generally will adapt to the new area, and especially if the resources, the people and the resources are in a new location. Cats aren't kind of like dogs where they go wandering off and, want to go find their original home unless they're lacking in that human contact or the food resources and such. So if you move and you take him with, we want to reacclimate him to the new home. So that may mean right away you're not going to let him go outside. If he's accustomed to being an outdoor kitty, you want him to get used to that indoor environment, all the goings-on inside the house before you let him go outdoors. And of course, I always prefer to keep cats inside. They live longer that way. But if he does have an outdoor lifestyle in your new home, you just want to gradually allow him that access so he can learn the environment right by your home, outside in the backyard, and then, in his little expanding environment beyond that. So I'd say definitely take him and just, make sure he's got all of his important things inside the house when you make that move. He'll be happy to be with you no matter where you are.
Will I have to get a cat litter thing for him, or what? Oh, I have to, won't I?
Yeah. So right now you don't even have a litter pan for him?
No, he goes on his own. He's a big boy.
Okay.
I just let him outside. He does what he's got to. He just goes.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I would say before you move, start offering him a litter pan in the home and give him that opportunity, because your neighbors will appreciate it a lot more if you train him to a litter pan at least part of the time. And when you make that move, it also will help to keep him in the home zone. He will need to use a litter pan, and if he's trained to using that in your new home, then that helps to make sure he'll stay around that area and find all his resource needs there.
That's what I was thinking about, maybe getting one so he knows what it's for anyway.
Dave, can I send you some kitty litter? We have World's Best Cat Litter. They're a sponsor here, and they make some awesome litter, and I'd like to send you a bag if that's okay. And then you can try that in the new litter.
Oh, well, I guess you could.
Those of you that don't get a free bag today, head on over to the website. You can get $3 off World's Best Cat Litter at the website at animalradio.com.
This is
Animal Radio. Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Of course, we're here to answer your questions, not me personally. I'm just here to blow hot air and glue it all together. Judy's...
And you do a good job of it.
Thank you very much. Judy's answering the phones and screening. She's also the producer here at Animal Radio. Bobby is our news director working on news. How you doing, Bobby?
Yeah. I'm doing good. How are you, Hal?
I'm doing fine. She Twitters, too. She's our social networking butterfly.
Somebody has to.
I am the designated twit.
And we're going to put... she puts twit on the beginning of everything, and I told her for 2010, you got to stop that. We're going to put a webcam in her studio, I think, so that you can see that she still has her Christmas tree up. But all blue lights in celebration of Blue Buffalo pet food.
Very, very festive in here.
Okay, well, let me know when that happens, because I won't go in there and lick her keyboard anymore.
Yeah.
I need to know.
We're all over the sickness now that Judy brought back, and I believe she has another trip planned. And
can't wait.
It's going to bring back...
We'll bring back more germs.
Double creeping crud is what I'm thinking. Susan Sims working on your Fido-friendly travel talk. She gives you the best places to travel with your animals, and she always has giveaways. Joy Turner, she's our animal shrink. No, psychic? What do they call it?
Animal communicator.
Animal communicator, okay. She talks to the animals. Yeah, you're looking down at your radio. Hey, it makes the phones ring.
Hey, you got to believe it.
Okay. Dr. Debbie, if you prefer the more scientific approach, she's our animal radio doc. And when I say that, she takes care of all of our animals here. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Not a day goes by that you can't see him on TV. Or he's really weird, and I can talk about him like this because he's very seldom listening to the show. He's always in the other room talking about his favorite subject, Vlade. And he talks about himself in a third person.
Oh, the Vlade
freaks
does
my...
Stop it.
Does that.
The Vlade. The Vlade. And he's working on a TV deal and a movie and eventually the presidency of the United States. Vinny Penn, yeah, he does mornings in Connecticut, and he's a very funny guy. He's written a few books, and we brought him on board last year to talk funny about the animals, and he does a fabulous job doing that. We are all here at your beck and call. If I sound a little lightheaded today, I have a reason. I'm on a special diet here. It's an allergy-free diet. And the girls are threatening to go out and buy burgers and eat them in front of me here.
You want one, Dr. Debbie?
Oh.
A large fry?
I sure do.
Yeah.
I want some greasy cheese and onions on there and everything.
Make it a double.
Oh, come on. And you know what? To add insult to injury, Monkey's Davy Jones, he just called me on the hotline because I gave him the hotline number. I figure, he's... maybe he wants to hang out or something. I give him the phone. He called and he said, "Do you want to go out to lunch today?" Just to poke fun at me. And of course,
pass the chocolate chip cookies, Judy, please.
Here you go, and the fudge.
Can someone give me some blue food? I'll eat anything now. All I've had is 2 V8s the whole day. Which one are we going to?
Line 1.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm just finishing off a slice of pizza.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
I like Sarah.
Thank you.
Sarah, you're on with Dr. Debbie.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm super.
I am calling. We've got a cat. He's about 2.5 years old, and he recently lost his companion.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if we should get him another one, or if he's more happy. I don't know how to tell if he's more happy without one, and I'm having a hard time deciding.
Well, how's he been behaving since the loss of the other kitty?
Well, the thing is, he's more affectionate with my husband and I, but other than that, he seems like he's pretty lonely.
Okay. Yeah, and it's interesting because we know that animals grieve when they've lost a friend in the household. Some don't, and some kind of truck right along and assume a closer bonding relationship to the people in the home, and that may be going on to some degree. But there's that loss of that activity time, the playing, the chasing,
right?
And that's when some kitties can certainly benefit, or even dogs. They'll benefit from having a new friend in the home. What's hard to know is there's kind of a no set rule as how long an animal will grieve. Some don't grieve much visibly. Others, it could be weeks or even months that I have seen where we've run into problems where a pet won't eat, can be very depressed. Their household behaviors completely change out of their norm. So I'd say that, it's really partly a family decision if you are looking to get another cat. But as far as if he seems to not have that level of interaction, if he seems kind of sluggish around the house, he may benefit from having another friend. And they're just like us. There's not a replacement of a cat or a dog in the home with a new one. It's a new personality. So, they'd have completely different dynamics and different way of interacting with each other. But, it would be something to consider. And now, as far as if you're seeing, more of the grieving behavior and how to kind of help him cope with that, ideally, I like to get them past their visible grieving, at least what we can perceive, before we introduce another animal.
Okay.
And that's mostly just, doing a lot of interactive time, scheduling play sessions, even making it more fun and interesting for food instead of just sitting the food out there. Make the kitty work for it and hide little treats and toys. We can use pheromones, those kind of soothing, non-smelling scent hormones that can be relaxing for cats. That can help to kind of ease them through a difficult time. Okay. But in the end, if it's time and you feel it's right to get another kitty, you may find that your kitty kind of changes a little bit. Personalities when there's a newcomer in the home, the hierarchy changes completely. So right now you mentioned that he's a little bit closer and cuddlier with you guys. That can always change when there's the loss of one cat in the home and we bring in another one. So. I would support your decision, and of course, we're always an advocate of adopting to save a life.
Right. We went and looked the other day, and we found a kitten and a 4-year-old, and we couldn't decide between the two.
Oh, that's a gimme. That's a gimme. You're talking about a human 4-year-old and a kitten?
Yeah.
So, a 4-year-old cat and a 10-week-old kitten. And our cat, is 2.5, so right in the middle of that. And he's pretty playful still. But,
and you can introduce an adult cat into the home, but in most cases, you find a little bit less resistance within the kitty hierarchy if we do bring a younger cat into the home. But not to say it can't work with an adult kitty.
Right.
Would you recommend a female or a male, doctor?
What is the kitty you have now, male or female?
Male, yes, but he is neutered.
He's neutered, yeah. I actually like a male-female combination, and that goes across for cats and dogs. A lot will be the personality, too, of the kitty. So, I'd look for a prospective new kitty that's, very adaptable with different situations. So we want to see a cat that doesn't shy away from a noisy situation or other animals. And you can kind of pick these things up when you're looking at a cat, either in a shelter situation or a home if you're adopting, just to see how they react with some of the different sights and sounds. So.
Okay.
Sarah, will you please send us a picture of your new family member? We like to post those on the website here.
Absolutely. We've got great pictures. I would love to. What's the site?
Head on over to animalradio.com. All of our addresses are over there, and just send it to any one of us or me, and I'll make sure it's posted. Every time a new listener or a listener gets a new family member, we like to post those on the website so everyone can see and we can share, because this is all about celebrating our connection with our pets. 1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the Dream Team. Also, the Happy Act making the phones ring today. This is a $3,500 tax deduction for having an animal. Well, up to $3,500.
Right.
Some people actually don't want that, and we've been hearing from them today. And the other thing that's making news this week, a lot of news, especially over at the website, is about that Mississippi Mississippi Animal Control Officer that was fired for killing some dogs. And that story is actually causing more reaction at the website at animalradio.com than any story we've ever had at animalradio.com. Vlade, the world-famous Russian dog wizard. Do you like cats?
Of course I do. The cats are the great exerciser for the dog.
Oh, way.
Enough of that. This is
Animal Radio.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about canine caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for canine caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
Fido Friendly is the travel and lifestyle magazine for you and your dog. Each bi-monthly issue includes hotel and destination reviews, health and wellness topics, dog training advice, and the latest fashion trends. You can find Fido Friendly magazine at Borders, Barnes & Noble, PetSmart, and Petco, or simply go online to FidoFriendly.com and subscribe today. Fido Friendly is the only magazine dedicated to the travel and lifestyle of man's best friend, and the only magazine your dog will thank you for.
Why read a newspaper in the age of the internet? Because you take the time to think things through, like your love of animals. You want to know where your voice and donations can be most effective. Animal People is the newspaper for people who care enough about animals to give real thought to how best to help animals. Request your free sample copy at www.animalpeoplenews.org.
Attention car owners. If your vehicle has less than 125,000 miles or if your current warranty is about to expire, this message is for you. You can now get extended coverage for your vehicle at much lower rates than dealers offer. Logic Car Care has set up a special toll-free number so you can get a free, no-obligation quote direct. You pick the repair shop and we'll pick up the bill. Plus, receive free 24-hour roadside assistance. Call for your free quote now. 800-238-9082. That's 800-238-9082. Call 800-238-9082.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
Welcome, my friend. It's Animal Radio. Oh, you ought to be thankful it's radio. We're all in here with the mood lighting, not looking really our best. I mean, we're healthy now, but
Hey, speak for yourself.
we're dressed for. We have faces for radio, except for you, Bobby, the hot blonde in the newsroom over there. How are you doing?
You know, you got to have one. I'm very relaxed for a afternoon on the air in January.
On a
It's
Saturday.
post New Year's, and I made it.
Are you twittering or are you working on news? What are you doing?
I'm doing both. I'm twittering, and I found this story that I had to pass along, and I will query you. How do you defrost a frozen cat?
Ooh, I'm guessing don't use the microwave.
Yeah,
No.
There's a lot of answers. Yeah?
There is a proper way, and I'm going to tell you about it because there is a story about a little frozen kitty that was brought back to life. Thanks to some good vets and a good volunteer. It's coming up in the news.
By the way, it's cold out still, and you got to take care of your pet.
Yeah.
Make sure they're like a couple of weeks back in Florida when they had that big freeze. Weren't there like iguana problem? What was happening to the iguanas in Florida? Weren't they like
Apparently iguanas who are... And I don't understand this because they're cold-blooded, right? They're reptiles.
Yeah, I think.
So when it gets cold, wouldn't they? Well, apparently they don't adapt well, and they kind of go into hibernation. They were falling off the branches and landed on the... Okay, it was funny when you see it. None of them were hurt. No iguanas were injured. It is all good. I don't want to hear from PETA.
Okay. Ever. Let's see. The Happy Act is still a proposition for a $3,500 tax deduction for having a pet and for everything from veterinary supplies to or veterinary visits to food. All kinds of things can be included in this. We're getting all kinds of calls. Some people saying that it's misguided, that it's stupid, impossible to validate. They don't like that. And then another 50% that are saying we would like the tax deduction. We'd like to hear what you think at 1-866-405-8405. Do you have someone on hold right now?
I do. He's waiting to get on the air.
Hi, Animal Radio.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine. You was talking about people wanting to deduct their pets on their income tax?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Happy Act, which is a $3,500 deduction, up to a $3,500 deduction for your pets. What do you think?
Well, do you just get one pet, or can you have $3,500 for as many pets as you want?
I believe right now it's up to $3,500.
Regardless?
Regardless of how many pets you have.
So if I get a little Chihuahua that costs me like $50 a year, I can deduct $3,500.
Absolutely. Well, it's not a flat rate of $3,500. You can deduct $50 a year. It's not. You know the child exemption that they have is a flat rate. This is different. This is up to $3,500 a year.
Does that include like any medical care? Or
I believe it includes medical care. Let me see. Don't have that right here.
I'm thinking
qualified expenses, including veterinary care. Yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting rid of some kids and getting some dogs or something.
Hey, yeah.
We like that idea.
I like that idea.
Oh, we didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that on air?
Yeah.
Thank you for your call today.
Bye.
1-866-405-8405. Bobby working on news as well as our little social networking butterfly. She's twittering away. I've noticed over the last few weeks that my voice has gotten higher. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, is it because you're not smoking anymore?
Not smoking. Of course, that was a New Year's resolution. And we just had a caller.
I would have guessed you're going through puberty again.
Yeah, I haven't bust through that whole puberty thing yet at all. So
he's still waiting.
Yeah. And, well, of course.
Just a guess.
Yeah. The guy who called in a few minutes ago who was against the Happy Act wished me the best of luck and hoped that I gained 30 pounds. Because
oh, gee, thanks.
Yeah, I actually could stand to gain 30 pounds.
Yeah, we hope you will gain 30 pounds.
You are such a string bean, Hal.
I am a string bean. Don't blow over here because I'll blow away. Speaking of quitting smoking, it's not only benefits you, but it benefits your animals. Now, if you're listening on XM, and a lot of you are, and you're, say, hypothetically a truck driver, yeah, you're looking down at your radio right now, aren't you? He's talking to me.
We see that face you're making.
You're talking to me?
Stop it.
And Fido's sitting right there next to you, and in your left hand is your cell phone, in your right hand is a cigarette, and you're driving the truck with your knees. That's you. You see? I knew exactly what you're doing right there. The smoke from your cigarette, not to mention the texting on the cell phone, both of them dangerous to you and your animals. The smoke can actually kill your cat, kill your dog. Definitely birds. Birds are very reactive to smoke. We need to be reminded about this because we don't think our pets are subject to our vices, let's say. You know?
Uh-huh.
But they can die
really,
from
because the cigarette's not hanging off their bottom lip doesn't mean they're not getting the smoke.
Although there was a big attempt, as you remember, Judy, in the about 5 years ago, for the cigarette companies to get the cats and dogs to actually smoke.
Yeah,
didn't work out.
No.
From the AVMA, that stands for the American Veterinary Medical Association, Dr. Kim May joins us. She has a really long title. Assistant Director, Department of Prof and Public Affairs, Doctor, what's your title?
She's important, Hal.
I'm the Assistant Director of Professional and Public Affairs. I mean, it's a long title for I deal with the profession and I deal with the public.
I always knew that secondhand smoke could be very dangerous to our animals. What is the deal, girlfriend?
Cats that live with smokers are twice as likely to develop a type of cancer called malignant lymphoma.
Wow, twice as likely.
Yeah, and they're also more likely to get mouth cancer and oral squamous cell carcinoma. And these aren't the little growths. I mean, these are potentially fatal cancers. The malignant lymphoma tends to kill 3 out of 4 of them within a year once they get it.
Now, that's just cats. I know dogs have the really big schnoz, and they're big sniffers. They're actually pulling in everything around them just to kind of Google their environment.
Right.
So they're pulling that smoke, huh?
Pugs and other short-nosed dogs are at twice the risk of lung cancer. And then when you have your longer nose breeds like the collies and even just dogs with kind of the average nose length, they are about 2.5 times the risk of nasal cancer from secondhand smoke.
Okay, so this is just another reason to give it up. You don't have to wait till next New Year's to do this. You can do this right now. Or at least go outside the place where your animals are.
Don't just crack a window, because that's not going to do it.
Is there a website where we can learn more about this?
AVMATV.org.
Okay, what we're going to do is link to it from animalradio.com. Of course, everything you hear on today's show we link to from our website, animalradio.com. Dr. Kim May, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Hey, it's Vinnie Penn, your party animal, coming at you on Animal Radio. Good day. I don't know why Crocodile Dundee just popped in. I want to talk to you about recently down at the local pet store, and I saw the signs Guy came in looking for a sign to convey to people visiting his house that he had a large dog. He didn't want beware of dog. He wanted something that said along the lines of beware of large dog. And he was surprised that he couldn't find it. Maybe they exist, maybe they don't. And of course, the person helping him at the store, they don't have any clue if they existed or not. For him, he was just, I overheard him saying, my dog's a sweetheart, but he's a large dog. And I would just want people stopping by to know Marmaduke is here. And they're actually making a Marmaduke movie. It's made. It's coming out over the summer. By the way, BTW, Marmaduke. I thought that was pretty cool. Nonetheless, he just wants to let people know you may be terrified as this huge dog comes lumbering at you, but basically you're just going to get a bath in spit and a whole lot of love. And he was surprised that these signs didn't exist, or that he couldn't find one at this store or whatever. My thought is, if they don't exist, let's run the gamut. Beware of leg-humping dog. Beware of dog who will like the taste of your blood. Beware of wife who's going to scare the hell out of you as she reprimands the dog for running towards you and or barking. There's a variety of signs to be made. This is yet again your party animal coming at you and missing an opportunity to patent something, to copyright something, and make money. There are all sorts of beware of Mad Lib style, fill in the blank type dogs right here. Send them to me, Vinny at animalradio.com. Or check me out, www.vinnypen.net. Send them to me there. Beware of dog that will eat your pocketbook and belch loudly afterwards. Beware of dog that will accidentally urinate on you. In parentheses, maybe not accidentally. Vinny Penn, party animal, Animal Radio.
1-866-405-8405 to talk to any one of the dream team here. That could be Dr. Debbie, Lottie, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, Vinny Penn, animal communicator Joy Turner, Susan Sims, Bobby, Ladybug, the studio stunt dog. Judy's screening calls right now, as well as producing the show. I'm Hal.
And I'm here, Judy. Right over here.
Your I got it a little down from last hour's news.
Sorry.
You reported about the Mississippi animal control officer fired for animal deaths. Kind of a bummer. We got
You're not supposed to be shooting dogs.
No,
you idiot.
No, we got a bunch of comments, and I just wanted to share a couple of them. By the way, you can head over to the website or email us at yourvoice@animalradio.com. First comment is, I've been fighting Hitler's laws for many years. One of the major problems is people like Esco gravitate to positions in animal control units where they can murder living creatures without the fear of retaliation or retribution. Another comment, I'm now officially ashamed to be from the town of Canton, Mississippi. I'm ashamed to be a Mississippian. These are words I've seldom uttered before. And a third person writes, I'm torn between tears and shaking rage. This man is a sociopath and has a history of domestic abuse. God has those gentle little creatures now in his arms and has prepared a special place in hell for this man.
Wow.
We love your comments, too, about this case. And any of the stories that we have, head on over to the website at animalradio.com. Cheer me up with a good news story. What's coming up?
Well, here's a question I can pose for you. What do you do with an old hearse? There's a there's a pet boarding owner that has turned it into a novel approach that's helping increase his business. I'll have that coming up for you in the news.
This portion of Animal Radio is brought to you by Stella and Chewy's. We want to welcome them on board.
I love that name.
This, of course, as all of our sponsors, we are using their product before they become sponsors. So we really enjoy the product. We believe in the product. Let's be honest. We get a lot of food samples here at Animal Radio.
Tons of
and some Hal won't even eat, okay?
I usually like to try them.
Yeah, he does try them.
I do like to try them.
I tried them once.
Yeah, you tried that Dick Van Patten stuff.
Yeah, his
hobo stew or something.
Like that. Yeah.
But we're talking about Stella and Chewy's now, so let's not confuse this because this is the stuff we're using here at Animal Radio. It's dehydrated. They come in little dehydrated patties, so it's really light. And if you're a trucker, listen up. If you travel across the country a lot and you want a food that's really easy to feed your pet, that has natural goodness, made with raw USDA inspected meat. We know the raw food's the best diet, and because it's freeze dried, all you have to do is wet it up again. It's still raw.
No fuss, no muss, no stink. It's so easy.
It's raised naturally with no added hormones or antibiotics. It is the official food of Animal Radio.
Stella and Chewy's.
You really like that. Stella and Chewy's.
I do.
StellaandChewy's.com or call them 1-888-477-8977. Now, if you're driving along right now, you don't have a chance to write that down, you can head on over to the website at animalradio.com later today and hit the Stella and Chewy's link on the front page. More Animal Radio on the way.
Hi, this is Sheena Easton on Animal Radio. Please spay and neuter your pets. It's so important.
This is an Animal Radio news update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter, the only litter made from whole kernel corn.
I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. A man who wasn't too sure about adopting a young golden retriever is now shouting the dog's praises after it saved his 11-year-old son from a cougar attack. The drama unfolded 2 weeks ago on a late Saturday evening in Boston Bar, British Columbia. It's about 250 miles northeast of Vancouver. Austin Foreman was gathering firewood when he noticed Angel, his dog, acting strangely as she followed him. Seconds later, a cougar charged out of the shadows at Austin, but Angel leapt in and blocked the cat. Austin ran inside as the animals continued to fight. He called the cops. Police officer arrived within minutes, thankfully, just in time to save Angel from the cougar. The dog is doing fine despite some puncture wounds to the head and neck. Mr. Foreman now can't get enough of the dog, saying, quote, "My son was saved by Angel," end quote. A Norfolk animal control officer found what appeared to be a frozen cat in a snowbank in Boston after responding to a call about a cat. Hillary Cohen told WBZ affiliate in Boston that she placed the stiff cat on a blanket on her lap with the heater vents blowing on her when she saw a whisker twitch. Cohen said, quote, "That was the really only sign of reflex I saw from her," end quote. The cat was rushed to Acorn Animal Hospital, where she was given IV fluids and heat therapy. She recovered. A few days later, she appeared fully recovered, and her family, who had been searching for her, saw her on the news. Animal Control's Peg Rossani said that the cat will be reunited with them once her recovery is complete.
That's like almost like Disney. Yeah. Disney, isn't Walt Disney Frozen? They're going to bring him back just like that with heat therapy and IVs.
There you go. That's it. Disney vets. You're high, Hal. Anyway, a pet boarding facility in southern Colorado has come up with a unique way to advertise as well as transport their clients. The Land of Oz, that is spelled A-H-S, as in, oh, what a cute baby, now has its own pet limo complete with curtains so no one can see who's really inside. Owner Merle Mazer took an old hearse and put it to work driving up his business, saying the idea is helping. And Mazer only charges his pets $1 a mile to be in the hearse-turned-pet limo. I'm Bobby Hill for Animal Radio. Get more breaking animal news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update brought to you by World's Best Cat Litter. Here's a tip for choosing a litter. Try a litter that resembles what cats naturally use. Soft, fine-grained litters most closely resemble the sand and dirt preferred by cats in the wild. Secondly, remember that cats have a keen sense of smell, so choose a litter that doesn't include perfumes. Get more tips from Dr. McPete at www.worldsbestcatlitter.com/radio.
Celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio. And here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
Last week, we shared a story with you that came out of Canton, Mississippi. Dreadful story. Caused a lot of reaction on the phone lines at 1-866-405-8405. About an animal control officer who was killing animals. You say euthanizing, and euthanizing seems like a humane thing, but he wasn't really euthanizing them. And it made our phones ring. The story continues. Now, the story was broken by Jerry Lousteau, who owns a station, WMGO, in Canton, Mississippi, 1370 AM. Jerry, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good to be with you guys.
Did I pronounce your last name right?
It's loose toe, like a toe that's going to fall off your foot.
Okay,
now, loose toe.
I will never forget it now, Jerry Lousteau. Well, this story, you're a very animal-friendly station. You reunite animals lost and found in your city there. And this story must have been horrifying when you found out the details. Initially, you broke it nationwide. Originally, what was the story that you broke for listeners that are just tuning in this week?
Well, the original story was that the animal control officer was fired, which in a small town, that in and of itself is a news story. Mm-hmm. But then the undercurrent of why he was fired and the circumstances surrounding it became the real story, very, very quickly.
Well, he was pretty much accused of shooting 100 dogs.
The initial reports was 200.
We hear that this animal control officer may have been tied to the mayor, that it's a very small, tight-knit town, and there may have been some freaky stuff going on. Is there any truth to that?
Well, no, that's very true. I mean, and it's very common. The nepotism in a lot of government agencies is horrible, and in this case, this man was related to the mayor. Now, it's a previous mayor. We got a new mayor this past July, 2009, but before that, we had the same mayor for about 6 years, and during that period, he was able to employ this person in 2 different city departments, even though he was transferred from one department to another for reportedly stealing gas from the fire department, and we reported that, and then lo and behold, instead of getting rid of this guy, they go, well, let's just make him the animal control officer, then he won't cause any more trouble. Well, that was a very bad move.
Wow.
I guess the investigation conducted by the Canton Police Department said that he had killed at least 100 dogs and cats, or is it just dogs?
I think that was a bit of an exaggeration and somewhat of a real quick developing urban myth, if you will.
Okay.
But the numbers that seem to have settled down is somewhere around 100, and they're going to try and prosecute some of these. It's going to be very difficult to prove that this one person actually shot and dumped that many animals, even though that many animals have been found. But I think they're going to try.
Where did he dispose of these bodies?
In rural areas, sparsely populated areas very close to town, one of them actually in the city limits and one of them slightly out the city limits, where, a long road with no houses on it, a bridge and a creek, and you just pull up on the bridge and they go over the side.
Wow.
I understand that dumpings are still occurring. Is that true, or is that just...
Well, I don't think the dumpings are still occurring, but I think there have been some continued discoveries of additional animals, mostly dogs, that had been previously dumped. He had apparently been doing this for quite a while, and he apparently would use more than one site, and it's not clear to me how and when they're stumbling upon more, but I know there's been a series of, quote, dump discoveries, end quote, in the past 7 days.
Do you have a large stray population there, more so than other areas?
Yeah, it's pretty bad, and the sad thing about it is we do have and did and still have a significant stray population, and this person was under extreme pressure to deal with it, and he just decided to go way outside the lines and way outside the policies on how to deal with it, and it has the town in an uproar. I mean, the same people that don't want a bunch of strays on their block and would complain about a bunch of strays are now up at arms going, yeah, but don't shoot them,
Was this guy a family man? Does he have children?
I don't know a lot about his personal circumstances.
Okay, we're talking about Alonzo Esco, who was. Has he been charged yet? Where is he now? What is the deal with him?
Well, he's without a job, and he was terminated, for these acts. And the file, the investigation, if you will, is in the hands of our county district attorney, who is going to take a look at what the possibilities of prosecution are. I'm sure that process will take a number of weeks to come to fruition.
Okay, so we believe at this point in time he was trying to improperly control an overpopulation of dogs in the shelter. It wasn't like something creepier than that, do you think?
No, I don't think it was creepier than that, although a person who's capable of that has to have some creepiness in their soul and in their heart.
Sure. Yeah.
They have to have a dark side, and there was a mechanism in place for properly doing this, but that involved him driving to an animal shelter that was almost an hour away from here.
Well, heaven forbid.
And so, if he just dumped them right here in town, he could take the morning off. And I mean, I almost think it was that simple, as sick as that may sound.
Well, yeah, and he didn't have any new place to steal gas from, I guess.
Exactly right.
Was he stealing gas?
Stealing gas from the fire department when he worked at the fire department.
Oh, my gosh. Is this true?
It's why he was transferred from the fire department to a, quote, demotion into the police department for animal control.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. You keep finding out more stuff about this. I want to refer people to your website to learn more, and if they want to catch up on the story. What is the website?
It's WMGOradio.com.
Jerry, I understand you're putting together a petition to change some laws.
Well, we have two petitions that you can access from our website, Hal, and they are both for the same purpose. They are to encourage the state of Mississippi to enact a felony penalty for animal cruelty. Right now, we're one of only a handful of states who have animal cruelty as a misdemeanor, not much more than a traffic ticket, and there's a move afoot currently in our current session of the Mississippi legislature to make animal cruelty a felony, and we encourage folks to sign those petitions, and no matter where they are, Mississippi or not, and be a part of this.
Just because we're out in another state or you're somewhere else doesn't mean you shouldn't be a part of this. You want to change the laws in a state that needs to change their laws desperately. Head on over to the website again. What is that? One more time?
WMGOradio.com.
And there you'll find the link to the petition. Jerry Lousteau joining us from WMGO 1370 in Canton, Mississippi. More Animal Radio on the way.
Animal Radio is brought to you by
One Shot Plus Multipurpose Cleaner attacks everyday stains, pet stains, crayon marks, mildew. One shot and it's gone. Call 1-800-874-7070 or go to oneshotplus.com to get yours now.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
A British woman who thought the vibration she was feeling was her cell phone was surprised to find the vibrations coming from her bra. And even more surprised to find the vibrations coming from a baby bat. 19-year-old Abby Hawkins wore the bra for 5 hours while working as a hotel receptionist before finding the baby bat. She said she was shocked but felt bad for disturbing the cuddly bat, who looked cozy and comfortable, adding she perhaps could have left it in there and given him a good home. Hawkins doesn't know how the bat got in there. She said she had had a drink or two the night before and got dressed quickly that morning. The bra was in a drawer but had been on the clothesline the day before. The bra bat, which had scampered under a desk, was captured by a coworker and set free.
Sorry.
I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio.
Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
Hey, this is Davy Jones here on Animal Radio. Just want to say look after those animals because they look after you. Have a great time. See you soon. Bye.
When it comes to controlling cat box odor, there's no such thing as good enough. Buy the best or smell the rest. In other words, get World's Best Cat Litter with patented formulas made from whole kernel corn. World's Best Cat Litter is 100% natural and scientifically proven to deliver unsurpassed odor control, compact clumping, and longer-lasting use. See what a difference just one bag makes. And for a limited time, save big when you buy. To download a coupon, go to worldsbestcatliter.com/radio.
Okay, time to check out that website I heard about, www.safeguardfordogs.com. There it is.
Hi, I'm Dawn.
The virtual host is a nice touch.
Roxy.
It looks like these links and videos cover everything a dog owner might want to know about intestinal worm infections and how to prevent them. Here's a savings coupon for Safeguard Canine Dewormers and even an online reminder service. Better bookmark this one, www.safeguardfordogs.com.
When I went looking for a quality allergen-free dog food for Roscoe, a friend told me about canine caviar. Being a born skeptic, I examined every ingredient and most importantly, made sure it drove our dog's taste buds crazy. Here's the lowdown. Canine caviar is holistic, allergen-free, with raw dehydrated meats, herbs, fish oil, and flaxseed for health and joint support. Good food for Roscoe from a company I can trust. Ask your pet store for canine caviar. Learn more at caninecaviar.com.
It's another new year, and your debt is higher than ever. Credit card balances that keep growing. That's the bad news. But you can work through your debt problems with help from Credit Card Relief. No, we're not a consolidation loan, not another one of those credit counseling deals, and not bankruptcy. We've been helping people just like you for nearly a decade. Call Credit Card Relief right now. The consultation is free, and the relief is real.
Call 866-800-5252. That's Credit Card Relief. 866-800-5252. 866-800-5252.
Hi, this is Dick Van Patten on Animal Radio, and be sure to spay your pets.
celebrating our connection with our pets. From all across the globe, this is Animal Radio.
Welcome back. This is Susan Sims for Fido-Friendly Travel Talk on Animal Radio. Now, my guest, Laura Kraft from Heaven to Home, is here to talk about her company and especially Angels for Animals. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So tell us all about Heaven to Home.
Okay, Heaven to Home is a soy blend candle and reed diffuser company, and we donate a portion of our proceeds back for animal welfare with our Angels for Animals collection.
What's the benefit of the soy candle?
The soy candles are a cleaner, longer burn. They don't burn as hot, and also all of our products are also dye-free.
Tell us about the Angels for Animals and why it's such a special part of your company.
Angels for Animals came into being really from being a lifelong animal lover, and then when the events of Hurricane Katrina happened and witnessing what was happening to all the animals there, I like to say my love of animals and candles melted together, and we set out to create this company with our signature piece, which is really an angel candle, which is silk screened onto glass. And then over that is the quote, which I had loved all my life. I'd read all of James Herriot's books. It's the quote that says, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. And that's really kind of the signature piece that we started with.
Your website, Heaven to Home, it's HEAVEN to home.com. So if we have
.net.
It's .net. Okay.
Yeah.
I made that mistake before. I have it at the end that says .net, and I was even going to say at the end, I promise I was going to say, and be sure to say .net. And I understand that 5 of our lucky listeners who call in today will receive a free soy candle.
Yeah, it's going to be our 12-ounce soy candle, and it's available in 10 different fragrances, and they have real colorful lids on them. They all have a silver brushed metal lid on them, and then we have colorful stickers with our artwork on them. Those candles are about a 70 to 80 hour burn, and they retail at $19.
So they're elegant and they last a long time. So for our 5 callers, to be lucky enough to be the first 5 callers, call us at 866-405-8405, and you can win a 12-ounce soy candle from Heaven to Home. That number, once again, is 866-405-8405. Thanks, Laura, for taking the time to talk with me today. To learn more about Heaven to Home, go online to their website at heaventohome.net. That's not .com, that's .net. This is Susan Sims wishing you a Happy New Year for Fido-Friendly Travel Talk on Animal Radio.
Thanks, Susan. Coming up on next week's show, and I know you're going to love this, Judy, Phil Kogan. Not Hulk Hogan, Phil Kogan, who's the host of The Amazing Race.
God, I'd love to be on that show. You want me to sign you up?
We would
could do
totally
it together.
win, Judy.
I know.
Oh, that would be cool. I'd actually watch the show.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Okay, Bobby, I'll sign us up for the next one.
All right, do it. We'll go and audition, Judy.
Okay.
We will kick some serious worldwide
No
butt.
kidding.
See, I'm fearful you two would actually win in a program like that. I've seen it in the past. I've seen the kind of contestants they have. You put Judy and Bobby together on The Amazing Race around the world. Wow.
Wow.
I think you'd be a
Just
winner
put your
right
money
there.
on us, man.
Yeah.
It's your thing.
Damn straight.
This is
Animal Radio.
This is
Animal Radio.
The whole gang is here. Dr. Debbie Vladi, the world-famous Russian dog wizard, Vinnie Penn, animal communicator Joy Turner, Bobby working on news as well as twittering, and this portion of Animal Radio brought to you by Stella and Chewy's.
Stella.
Natural goodness for dogs, made with raw, USDA-inspected meat, raised naturally with no added hormones or antibiotics. It is the official dog food of Animal Radio. And, Bobby, you were asking before how you spell Chewy's.
Because I misspelled it the first time. So spell me correctly again.
It's CHEWYS. Stella and Chewy's.com.
As in Chewy's.
Yes.
Got it.
You can call them toll free at 888-477-8977. And remember, everything you've heard on today's show, including all about Stella and Chewy's, at animalradio.com. In fact, there's a Stella and Chewy's link right on the front page We want you to try this stuff. I believe we're giving away samples. All you have to do is send in a self-addressed stamped envelope. Which one are we going to?
Let's go to line
2. Okay, Todd. Hey, Todd. She didn't tell me which one to go to. Is this Todd?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Todd?
Very good. I'm very good. Had a question for Dr. Debbie.
Okay.
Well, hey, I'm right here.
Excellent. I have got an African gray that allows us to live in our house with him. We love our little birdie.
Isn't that the truth, though?
His name is Tiki. We've had him about 3 years now. Bought him in South Florida. Moved up here to North Carolina. When we first got him, love him, adorable little pet, would love to be loved, and his head scratched and all that. And he's developed a bad habit of suckering you in with his low head down, and you come in, and then he bites. He bites good and hard. And we can't get him through the nipping stage, and it's not just a nip, he draws blood.
Yes. Well, and this is a big problem. These guys are very clever, and like you said, he's permitting you to live in his home, so he is patterning your behavior to that of which he desires. Now, I have to ask you, do you guys handle him as far as does he sit on your shoulder? Do you have him out interacting, or is he more a bird you don't handle a whole lot?
He's handled a lot. I wouldn't put him on my shoulder because I like my earlobes. But we do. We have a little tree branch that we have on wheels. I mean, he's part of the family. We've got many critters in our house. We have 2 dogs, 5 cats, a Euromastic, and an iguana. So he's a part of our family. He's right in the living room. He's part of everything. He's super intelligent, picks up wording and sounds. I can never tell if my phone's ringing or the front doorbell's going off because he likes to mess with us. He's super cool, and he could have such a super cool life if he was not drawing blood all the time.
I get it. Now, the big challenge here is that when birds do these kind of behaviors, especially when we have problem biting, we have to really kind of back up and look before this behavior happens. And you said that it kind of starts where he kind of looks cute and coy and drops his head down and wants a little petting. If that is what precedes most of these bite attempts, we need to actually kind of intervene and not give into that behavior. He's doing that, sets up the pattern for you to get bit. We need to try to find something else to redirect his behavior so we don't continue this pattern. So really, it is a matter of kind of taking control of some of the basic commands when it comes to birds, and that's kind of going back to the basics of perching, the up commands, the down commands, and having you be more in control of his world rather than the other way around. Now, if it's a matter of your fingers are going to get destroyed in the process and you're going to be having cuticles bleeding and fingernails coming off and things like that, we don't want that to happen. So we want you to be comfortable and we want you to feel confident as you're working with him. So if you're going to be asking him to come out of the cage or getting him up on your finger, we want you to be doing that comfortably. If you can't do that, then we use a perch as kind of a substitute. But when he does that little cute, coy little thing, the last thing you want to do is give in, scratch that head. And a lot of birds, these kind of cuddling behaviors, they're very much a pair bonding behavior. So that's what birds do in the wild when they're kind of got their mate. And that's a very sexual, a very bonding experience. So in some cases, that can actually be just a little bit too much, and we'll see these aggressive behaviors kind of become a displaced behavior in that situation. So I would say back off from any kind of cuddling and scratching with him, and go back to the basics of the perching.
And then the cuddling and scratching as much anymore because it often leads to bloodshed. And the little man is so intelligent that he will yell in my tone, "Tiki, no," right before he bites me because he knows that's what's coming next. Tiki, no. He's a pisser.
Exactly.
We love him. He'll be around forever, but I'm tired of bleeding.
Exactly. And you got that because they are so smart and they understand there's something that's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. This is what I'm going to hear afterwards. So really we may have to stop that pattern of he does that behavior. Do not give into that. Give him something else to do. We want to give him some other behavior, and that's where giving the basic thing like the step up command is just so important, to give him something else to do or to think about. And then also we use food as a reward. So we really want to make sure that if anything, we kind of keep the food a little bit to the side, use food as a treat and a reward when you're having these little training sessions. So I'm not saying starve him, but sometimes it's a great motivator. And if he doesn't have a full bowl of food ready for him, he might be more primed to work for those extra treats. And one thing, if you haven't looked for this is a great resource. I do tell a lot of my bird lovers to purchase is a book. Basically, it's called Birds for Dummies, I believe is one of the regular old Amazon books out there, but it does have a very nice section on basic bird behavior, and it kind of puts it in the mindset of, this is what my action is, and this is what the bird's going to do, and how do we break some of these cycles? Because it is a complicated issue, and gosh, we could probably chat for, a good hour or two about some of the different behaviors and how we intervene with this.
I could chew your ear off on just, I would like to hang out with somebody else had an African grey to watch their bird, because either that's normal or mine's out of his mind, because A, he will walk backwards when he's on the floor, he will slam his head into the ground and looks like a dinosaur running. I mean, he's hilarious, and he loves us, but he also loves to bite us, which is extremely annoying.
Yes, well, they are great comedians, so that's the one thing, and they know that he's getting your attention. So you're laughing, you're entertained, and he's running the show. As much as it is, we don't want to react to the biting. We don't want to give a negative response, because birds don't really respond well to that, as you probably figured out if you yell at them. It doesn't help anywhere in that bird bond.
He yells back, and it sounds like me.
Now, I guess the question would be, if he can mimic, arguments between husband and wife, that would be kind of interesting.
He picks up more things than I need to say on the radio.
They're smart birds. We wish you the best of luck with that. Let us know how that turns out. 1-866-405-8405. That number is open all week long. Have a great week. We'll see you next week right here for more Animal Radio.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Always adopt, don't declaw.
This is Animal Radio
Network.